Where we left off was that H&M, a respected Swedish retailer, had uncovered that some of the cotton used in their clothing was coming from slave labor. So they canceled the contracts and informed the world they would no longer support slavery. Everyone applauded, right? Wrong. The problem is that it was a Chinese company supplying the cotton, and the Chinese government put out the word that H&M was causing problems. China does not allow woke unless it suits their interests. Quoting the New York Times from March 29th, the Communist Party's youth wing denounced H&M on social media and posted an archival photo of slaves on a Mississippi cotton plantation. Official news outlets piled on with their own indignant memes and hashtags. Patriotic web users carried the message across China far and wide. The crisis the apparel brands now face is familiar to many foreign businesses in China. The Communist Party for years has used the country's giant consumer market to force international companies to march in step with their political sensitivities, or at least to not contest them openly. But this latest episode has illustrated the government's growing skill at whipping up storms of patriotic anger to punish companies that violate this pact. Just to make sure you're getting this, a respected retailer decides not to use slave labor, and the youth of the country denounce them for that. It's the total opposite of what you should expect, but that's the point. China is a communist nation, and the people are forced to follow what the government says. There's no free speech. Does that not remind you of where this nation is heading? If not, try saying masks don't work, or you believe there was fraud in the 2020 election. Why do you think Coke claims that voter IDs are racist? It's not because they're woke, and it's not because they're racist. It's because they believe that that's what this administration wants. After all, President Biden said the Georgia election law was Jim Crow on steroids. And Coke followed, just like Delta and 100 other major companies. And the scary thing is that if we allow the Democrats to set all the voting rules and speech rules, we will be exactly where China is today. Literally the opposite of caring about people. Instead, mandating behavior that suits the government, even if it means supporting slavery. Big business and big government together cramming down on the little people. That's truly a nightmare in China, and it's already beginning to happen here. For the retailer H&M, they don't quite know what to do. Taxis will no longer take people to their stores in China. Building owners are evicting them. Their apps no longer run on Chinese phones. They'd been canceled because they cared enough to not support slavery. Wake up, you woke people! This is what will happen here if we don't stand up now. If one party gets complete control of our election process, liberty and democracy are over. Look at the single-party cities in America like Chicago and Detroit. Are they corruption-free? Do they take care of the people, or do they enrich those who are in charge? The answer is self-evident. And yes, even progressive liberals understand what happens if you lose election integrity. Case in point, Amazon and Jeff Bezos. Let me read a quote from The Federalist. Between his two major companies, Amazon and The Washington Post, Jeff Bezos does not hold consistent views on mail-in voting. Hypocrisy. When it could assist his preferred presidential candidate in reaching the White House, mail-in voting was safe, and any question to the contrary were mere attempts to undermine democracy. Yet now that his own employees at Amazon wish to use the same methods to vote for unionization, suddenly this wonderful format is not secure enough. That's blatant hypocrisy. What happened? Amazon workers had to vote in person or at a company-monitored drop box. According to the company, the union was rejected. But wait! According to the union, there were multiple irregularities that must be investigated. This is actually getting pretty delicious. It looks like Jeff Bezos only cares about election integrity when it is to his benefit. Mail-in ballots are good unless the vote might hurt your position.